Hello everyone and welcome! In this video, you will receive training on our Places business presentation. We will cover every slide and all the points that appear in our official presentation. Today, we will explore how we are reshaping the real estate market with modern technology. This training is designed to provide you with all the information about our presentation so that you get an idea of the content. You will receive additional information that you can freely incorporate. Additional content is marked accordingly so that you can distinguish it. You can pass on the content unchanged or choose your own words. For this presentation, you will find a short PDF summarizing all the important information. To access it, scan this QR code or check the video description. Let's start by understanding what tokenized real estate actually is, and then dive into the three main pillars that define what Places actually does. What is tokenization? Simply put, tokenization in real estate allows each token to represent a partial ownership of a property. Imagine the following. Instead of buying an entire property, we divide large real estate assets into many small digital shares, each called a token. Similar to stocks, where companies are divided into many small shares. Each token represents a fraction of the property. For example, if a property is valued at $1 million and you invest $10,000, you receive 10,000 tokens representing 1% of the ownership rights to that property. The three important pillars. The tokenization of real estate is a relatively new concept in the financial market. In the United States, a legal framework was established in 2017, overseen by the well-known SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission. The USA is considered a pioneer in this field, followed by the EU. Now let's take a look at the benefits of tokenization. Tokenization brings crucial advantages that significantly improve the traditional real estate market. One is the lower barrier to entry, as no equity capital is required. The biggest advantage is the ability to acquire partial ownership of large properties, which would not be possible through traditional means. Improved accessibility and efficiency. Investments become more accessible, and the entire process is more efficient. This helps reduce operating costs and potentially increase returns for investors. We pass on such savings to our customers, who then receive higher returns. Security and transparency. Thanks to blockchain technology, ownership is verifiable and tamper-proof. Through these advantages, Places connects investors and property owners, enabling security-oriented investments with the potential for high returns. Additional information. This is a good opportunity to explain how the blockchain works in order to build trust in the system. All contract data is automatically written into a block and verified. If the verification is successful, the ownership rights are transferred to the customer, the block is then closed and becomes unchangeable. The investment is thus sealed. Once a block is closed, a new one is created and is then open for new contracts. This forms a chain, hence the name blockchain. Once the tokens have arrived in the customer's wallet, the contract is essentially completed. Technically, the closing of a block still takes place in the background after that. But in case questions arise from the customer, contracts are always finalized. Nothing can interfere to prevent the customer from receiving their property, the tokens. If something does go wrong, our support is of course available. Through the involvement of securities regulators from various countries, control and regulation take place at the highest level. This provides both sides, but especially our customers, with the highest possible security for their investment, as every tokenization is monitored. The traditional real estate market is outdated and faces major challenges. High barriers to entry, strict bank requirements such as equity capital and creditworthiness, as well as the all-or-nothing purchase model, make access difficult and exclude many potential investors. Places offers a modern solution to overcome these inefficiencies and connect investors directly with property owners. Let's take a closer look at the current weaknesses: high barriers to entry and all-or-nothing investments. Real estate investments typically require high purchase prices, often coupled with an all-or-nothing commitment and a significant financial entry point. Time-consuming processes. Traditional real estate purchases are notoriously slow and involve many parties as well as manual document processing. Processes such as purchase contracts, land registry entries, and notary appointments often cause unnecessary delays due to manual workflows. Risk of human error. With multiple parties, complex approval processes, and extensive legal documents, there is significant potential for errors. Faulty contracts or incorrect information can have serious consequences. High dependency on intermediaries. A strong dependency on multiple intermediaries is common in the classical market. Without expert advice, investors might overlook critical risks, which can lead to costly mistakes or even the loss of the property. Our solution, driven by tokenization, Places creates a direct connection between property owners and our customers, serving as a central platform for both sides. For property owners, we offer the opportunity to obtain liquidity through the tokenization of their properties. Owners often need short-term capital for investments and are willing to use parts of their property as collateral. Our service includes expert consulting, concept evaluation, liquidity procurement, and potential analysis. We also manage the properties. For investors, in this case, our customers, your partners, we create easily accessible, secure, and high-yield investment products. Investors gain access to attractive real estate projects with predictable returns and fixed terms. Essentially, Places makes real estate investments accessible, transparent, secure, and lucrative for everyone. Tokenization is comparable to a stock, similar to classical stocks, where you acquire shares in a company. A property is divided into digital shares or tokens. The tokens make it possible to transfer ownership rights digitally in a straightforward and efficient manner. The customer receives the tokens directly into their own wallet outside the Places platform. During the deposit process, a window opens in which the customer can enter a wallet of their choice. The transaction is carried out via the TRC20 network, Tron. This is an important point as our customers can independently manage the tokens and thus the ownership rights on their own wallet. At no time does Places have access to these tokens. In other words, we do not manage any tokens internally on our platform for our customers. Tokenization increases the liquidity of the property, as smaller shares appeal to a broader audience and can be traded more easily. Important advantages of this technology are, first, verifiable and tamper-proof ownership. Ownership is verifiable and recorded tamper-proof on the blockchain, with maximum security guaranteed by cryptography. Second, and this is important and interesting for prospects, the elimination of human risk. Blockchain technology eliminates the human risk factor by serving as an automated intermediary. When a contract is concluded, the data is validated on the blockchain, and if everything matches, the transaction is confirmed and ownership is transferred. Third, cost reduction and global accessibility. This technology leads to significant cost reduction by minimizing the need for local administrative structures. You don't need a notary, no lawyers, and no broker commission. We pass these savings directly onto our customers, thereby increasing their returns. Access to ownership rights and proof of them becomes possible worldwide and at any time. You can conveniently participate in properties anywhere in the world from home. For example, because no notary is required, and the transfer of rights can take place directly. Tokenization is comparable to a stock, similar to classical stocks, where you acquire shares in a company. A property is divided into digital shares or tokens. The tokens make it possible to transfer ownership rights digitally in a straightforward and efficient manner. The customer receives the tokens directly into their own wallet outside the Places platform. During the deposit process, a window opens in which the customer can enter a wallet of their choice. The transaction is carried out via the TRC20 network, Tron. This is an important point, as our customers can independently manage the tokens and thus the ownership rights on their own wallet. At no time does Places have access to these tokens. In other words, We do not manage any tokens internally on our platform for our customers. Tokenization increases the liquidity of the property as smaller shares appeal to a broader audience and can be traded more easily. Important advantages of this technology are: first, verifiable and tamper-proof ownership. Ownership is verifiable and recorded tamper-proof on the blockchain, with maximum security guaranteed by cryptography. Second, and this is important and interesting for prospects, the elimination of human risk. Blockchain technology eliminates the human risk factor by serving as an automated intermediary. When a contract is concluded, the data is validated on the blockchain, and if everything matches, the transaction is confirmed and ownership is transferred. Third, cost reduction and global accessibility. This technology leads to significant cost reduction by minimizing the need for local administrative structures. You don't need a notary, no lawyers, and no broker commission. We pass these savings directly on to our customers, thereby increasing their returns. Access to ownership rights and proof of them becomes possible worldwide and at any time. You can conveniently participate in properties anywhere in the world from home, for example, because no notary is required and the transfer of rights can take place directly. Let's take a look at an example using the Faina house. The total return for investors comes from several sources: rental income, appreciation of the property during the term, interest payments, and, most importantly, participation in an underlying investment for which the property owner was seeking liquidity. In this specific case, it is the Series C funding round of the startup Abridged. If the question arises about what happens in the event of a rental default, we work together with the property management to handle the rental payments and their distribution to our customers. Should a rent payment fail completely or the tenant cancel, the property owner is liable using their reserves. Just as with the interest payments, the plan is to sell these startup shares at a profit in a later funding round. This concept allows places to offer investors fixed terms and guaranteed returns based on a pre-calculated exit strategy. The returns generated from the startup investment are then passed on to our investors and customers. If questions arise here as to why this is the case, it is part of the agreement that the property owner would not have received any liquidity without our customer's investment. Essentially, the property owner uses the property as collateral. Through tokenization, only partial ownership rights are transferred to investors. This structure ensures that income from the property, such as rental income and appreciation, also contributes to the total return for Place's investors. The money provided to the property owner is like a loan from the bank. Just as a bank issues a loan and demands repayment plus interest regardless of the borrower's business success, the same applies at Places. Repayment does not depend on how the investment in the startup turns out in our example. That is why our displayed returns are guaranteed. Also similar to a bank, the property serves as collateral here, like a trust fund that is deposited in the event of default. This massively increases security for our customers. Should a default occur on our platform or on the part of the property owner, our customers can monetize their ownership rights. For this purpose, a PDF file is available for each asset, which can be downloaded at any time. This PDF contains all the necessary information for our customers to monetize their tokens independently of our platform. This model works effectively due to its predictability. All cash flows, including fixed terms and returns, are calculated in advance. Regarding security, the property legally remains as collateral. As a kind of lien in favor of the customers, the owner can flexibly pledge or provide their property. They do not have to transfer the entire asset to a bank, even if they only need a portion of its value as liquidity. Now, if the question arises as to why the owner doesn't simply take out a loan directly from a bank, one reason is that banks are not flexible enough to handle such a special case. Often the loan is not interesting for the bank because it doesn't fit into their business model. Another reason may be that the term for which the owner needs the money is too short for a bank. Additional information. Places acts as an intermediary between customers and properties. We tokenize and ensure the transaction of the tokens. Furthermore, we monitor all processes and ensure that all settlements can take place smoothly. All deposits and withdrawals are handled by us. The tokens themselves, and thus the ownership rights to the property, remain with the customer. As long as the customer holds their tokens, they are in legal possession of their investment. However, the customer can also assert their rights to their investment outside of our platform, since the tokens are treated legally like a classic land registry entry. More on that later. The process of deposit and subsequent steps. As mentioned, we use the Tron network for the entire transaction, also known as TRC20 or USDT. In the first step, the deposit is made, during which the customer immediately receives the corresponding tokens. The ratio is 1-to-1. For every dollar deposited, exactly 1 token is credited. This means that immediately after their investment, the customer receives ownership rights 1-to-1 for their deposit. Thus, the customer's deposit is secure. This process can be interesting information for customers to build further trust in the system. For a deposit of $5,000, the customer immediately receives 5,000 tokens into their wallet. The wallet address can be freely chosen and is verified by the system before the deposit. We do not store any tokens for customers. Every customer at Places can specify their own wallet, to which only they have access, and receive the tokens there. As already mentioned in the additional information, by using their own wallet, the customer has full control over the tokens and absolute security over their investment, because the tokens are not held on our platform and therefore cannot be lost. As a result, our customers always hold the land registry lien on the property. A concrete example illustrates the process. With a term of 8 months and a total return of 124%, the final amount comes to 11,200 USDT, or 11,200 tokens. For an investment of $5,000 based on this return, the profits from the previous week are paid out every Sunday, which in this example corresponds to approximately 194 tokens per week. At the end of the term, the customer has thus received their original 5,000 tokens as well as 6,200 tokens in additional distributed profit. A total of 11,200 tokens. At the end of the term, the customer has full flexibility. They can choose to have their balance paid out either partially or in full, or reinvested as they wish. For a payout, the customer simply sends the held tokens back to the system. The corresponding destination wallet and the amount are automatically displayed to them during the process. After that, they provide the wallet to which they wish to receive the payout. The entire transaction takes place automatically. The customer only needs to manually send the tokens to us. This whole process happens fully automatically based on the terms recorded in the blockchain contract. The entire process, from deposit through the full term to the payout, is recorded in the blockchain. Thus, the customer is still safe even if our platform fails. If the investment is still within its term, the customer continues to receive their tokens or returns and can independently cash out at the end without the need for our platform. As mentioned, the customer can exchange their tokens independently of us. This is of course somewhat more complex and only recommended in exceptional cases, but if necessary, all information is stored in the PDF for the asset. This is information that could be interesting for the customer and help build more trust. Let's move on to our partner program, in which anyone can participate. Here we offer everyone the opportunity to earn commissions by referring our investment products. There are 9 different ways available to do this, which we will go through individually. There are 14 ranks that you can advance through, and with each rank, additional benefits and compensations are added. The only condition to participate is a minimum investment of $25. We set this condition to ensure that everyone who refers our products has actually engaged with them. If you want to dive as deep as possible into our partner program, please watch our training on it. The video can be found at the end of this video or in our Dropbox. In that training, we explain in precise detail how everything works, how you and your partners can achieve the best success, and we provide tips and tricks for finding new partners. Two terms that are important up front: direct partners and indirect partners. If you invite someone directly, that person is your direct partner. So if you invite Frank, Frank is your direct partner. If Frank invites a new person, for example Lisa, then from your perspective, Lisa is an indirect partner. Additional information. Our partner program seems complicated at first glance, but it isn't. Basically, you can work very superficially and simply focus on recruiting new partners. Everything else runs automatically. But you can also dive very deep, build the structures in a targeted way, and shape everything according to your own ideas. For example, each partner can see which of their direct team members are active or inactive, or whether they have invested and how much. Based on that, they can provide advisory support and work together with the team member to find out why they are inactive. Additional functions in our back office are covered in detail in the corresponding training. See YouTube or the Dropbox for that. The foundation is our binary compensation structure, with a commission of 10%. The binary system automatically builds two legs, left and right. New partners are automatically placed alternately in the left and right legs. Through this alternating placement, it is ensured that the distribution remains balanced. To invite partners, 3 invitation links are available. Using one of the 3 links, new partners are automatically placed left and right. With the other 2 links, you can specifically place new partners into either the left or right leg. Using these links, you can bypass the automatic distribution and place new partners directly into a specific leg. Every Monday, the binary commission is calculated. This gives everyone enough time to accumulate volume within that week. The commission is calculated on the total volume. By total volume, we mean every deposit in that respective leg. Investments from all direct partners, of course, but also indirect partners, their partners, their partners' partners, and so on. The entire leg counts. For this, all deposits from all direct and indirect partners are added together. Both legs are calculated separately. The leg with the lower volume determines the commission. However, nothing is lost from the leg with the higher volume. More on that shortly. In this example, that is the left leg with $5,240 in total deposits for the week. With $5,810, the right leg is the strong leg. As mentioned, the commission is calculated on the weak leg. That means a commission of $522 for the calculated week. The strong leg does not generate a commission, but it does generate carryover. The difference between the 2 legs, that is, right leg $5,810 minus left leg $5,240, i.e., $570, is carried over to the next week. So no volume is lost, and you start the new week directly with a volume of $570. After the calculation on Monday, the commission is immediately available, and the new interval begins right afterward. Just a reminder, if you or your partners want to learn more about this topic. The long-term bonus enables quick earnings and offers an immediate bonus of up to 20% on the deposit of direct partners. So if a direct partner invests in a property that is marked with this bonus, we pay out the long-term bonus in addition to the other commissions. Any asset with a term of more than 6 months qualifies for this commission. Products that pay out a long-term bonus are marked with an LT in the identification number. However, all terms of 6 months or longer qualify. Our matching bonus. Whenever an affiliate in your team receives a commission from the binary system, you benefit from our matching bonus. For example, if a direct partner in your first level earns $1,800 in commission, your matching bonus at 10% would be $80. For partners on level 2, it is 7.5%, and for level 3, it is 5%. Motivate your partners and customers to be as active as possible. Answer questions and be available for feedback, and we will reward that effort with additional bonus. The more active everyone beneath you is, whether direct or indirect partners, the more commission you and other customers earn. You always benefit from activity, because just like with the binary bonus, more active customers benefit you, including people you don't even know who were recruited far downline from you. The matching bonus principle also applies to the long-term bonus. When a direct partner receives a long-term bonus, we reward you with 20% of their bonus. If they receive a bonus of $500, you get 20%, which is $100 in commission. The same applies to partners on level 2. Advise your team accordingly to convince others to make a long-term investment and benefit. Info. As we recall, every product with a term of more than 6 months pays out the long-term bonus. The advantage for your partners is that they benefit from high returns and have good planning security. The advantage for you, as the referring person, is that long-term customer loyalty is established, allowing you to build volume over time and have peace of mind knowing that this partner will remain in the team for a long time. We have different ranks that everyone can advance through step by step. When higher ranks are achieved, we reward that achievement with an additional bonus. Rank 10. Upon reaching this rank, the customer receives a one-time bonus of $1,000. Rank 11. This rank rewards the continuous maintenance and growth of the group volume. Here, a commission of at least $1,000 is paid. Specifically, every 3 months, 0.2% of the group volume is paid out, allowing the partner to receive a bonus of up to $2,000 per quarter. Higher ranks, rank 12, 13, and 14. At these leadership levels, a monthly commission on the current group volume is distributed. This corresponds to an additional compensation of at least $1,000 per month. The calculation and crediting take place on the last day of each month based on the current volume. The partner program offers partners various levels to generate earnings. To get started, the partner only needs to reach the first rank, room, with a group volume of $250. Group volume is the volume of your direct team, i.e., the sum of all investments of your direct partners. If a partner withdraws funds, the volume decreases. Conversely, if someone deposits, it increases. If you lose volume, you will also drop back in rank. As already mentioned, a minimum investment of $25 or the smallest possible amount is required to actively participate in the partner program. This ensures that everyone who recommends our products has engaged with them. For the actual commission calculation, however, the total volume is used, meaning including all investments from all persons in the respective leg. If the partner wants to reach the next rank, they need a group volume of $500. In addition, they must have one sponsor in each leg, left and right. That means you invite person A in the left leg, A invites person B, and both are active in the partner program. That gives you one sponsor in the left leg. Now you need the same for the right leg. Why? This ensures that your legs have a certain level of activity. Remember, you can receive a potential commission on every single deposit in each respective leg. If every partner and their partners invite new people, your potential earnings grow. Here you can see again our extra payouts for the higher ranks. Rank 10, one-time bonus of $1,000 upon reaching it. Rank 11, quarterly compensation to reward continuous group growth. 0.2% of the group volume is paid out per quarter, up to a maximum of $2,000 per quarter, but at least $1,000. Ranks 12, 13, and 14, monthly commission on the current group volume, at least $1,000 per month. Calculation and crediting take place on the last day of the month. That was our training for the Places presentation. If you would like to learn more, you will find our video that covers every single topic in detail from A to Z linked here. The topics are marked with timestamps so you can quickly find what interests you. Thank you for your time.